My father's biggest goal was probably trying to maintain a family business. He wanted to pass on a company to his children and hopefully to his grandchildren if they were interested in it. But the funny thing is he never pushed us towards doing the family business. If we wanted to come in, we did, and all three of his children are participating in the business in some form or another right now.
One of the things that was unique about Dad and his leadership, which he instilled in us, was that he believed that we should be out in the trenches, out on the front lines helping whenever possible. I mean, yes, we have a business to run, but it was important to us and to Dad and his leadership that we weren't afraid, and he wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty and roll his sleeves up. And I think one of our philosophies that we've all had, and he handed down to us, and we as children have, is that we're not afraid to do anything, and we wouldn't ask our employees to do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves. And I think that's one of the things that I take from Dad that I'm very proud of, and I'm glad that I am carrying on that same philosophy, and hopefully can teach that to my children.
He and Marcy both firmly believed that you do whatever needs to be done, and the kids learn that. They feel that way. So I don't feel so much like I work for the Tichenors. I work with the Tichenors. He made you want to help out and want to work because you saw him doing everything.
The thing my father was most proud of is this business went through bankruptcy back in the 60s. And obviously had to downsize and restart the business over again. And he did that with some very dedicated, long-term loyal employees who have been with him 30, 40, almost 50 years for some of them. He's always been one about giving back to the community, giving back to his employees, getting them to give back to the community too by doing different Habitat for Humanity builds, to, if people need time off to do anything for a philanthropic, he'd say, go do it.
I think some of my best conversations with Ray were times when I had questions about things that were going on, and he and I would sit and talk about what was really important in life. And I got a really great glimpse of his heart and what his heart was for his employees, and I wanted to mirror that. And I really feel like that whole concept of family at work was so important to him. He was focused on all the right things. He was focused on his team, and having a team in place that believe in the employer will make a successful company.
In 2005, when we were involved in our Grow Ivy Tech campaign, Ray thanked us for visiting with him and told me he would get back with me, and the next thing I knew was when Ray called me and told me that he and Marcy had decided to create a scholarship for our students. He and Marcy wanted a student who had financial need, a student who had already completed at least 2 semesters at Ivy Tech, and a student who had a GPA of at least 3.0. And the reason I think that's significant and so much personifies, I believe, Ray's attitude was that he was looking for a student who had need, but he was also looking for a student who had demonstrated persistence and one who had demonstrated academic excellence. So that was exactly the criteria that he and Marcy wanted, and their gift has been wonderful for 8 students and will continue to live on for students in the future.
My dad was never one to be fussed about, so to speak. He didn't like all the attention. And what he would say if he was here today getting this award would be he owes it all to his employees. You know, they're the ones that made this success for the business. They're the ones who helped build it back. And he participated in a chamber series called the Genius Series, which he always laughed at because he didn't consider himself anywhere close to being a genius. He said, I just hired good people who made me look good. You know, he taught all of us, it's hard work, first and foremost, but you better have fun doing it. You better take care of your employees, and then take care of the people in your community.